So this is the next container I'm going to tackle. This is a beautiful outdoor glazed pot. You have to be very careful when you're purchasing glazed pots for the outdoors, simply because some of them will last and some won't. And the really good quality ones will definitely last. I've had this particular pot probably for the last 15 years. I have never brought it inside, and as you can see, it's awesome. So I placed this pot close to the area that I want to place it in, just due to the fact that it is heavy. However, before I put the soil into the pot, I actually put a coffee filter in the bottom, a little bit of gravel, and then I put 3 gallon size milk jugs in the bottom to keep this pot lighter than it actually looks. Because what I'm putting in it are annuals, basically, or plants that I know I'm not going to keep in there for more than a year or two. So to keep your pots lighter, that's a real neat way of doing it, is save your half-gallon or gallon milk jugs. I keep the lids on them, and I of course clean them out. And the whole reason for the coffee filter down in the bottom is to keep critters from coming in through the bottom, and yet being able to let some of the water out. So any pot that you use that you want to plant in has to have drainage holes, or else your plants will drown at the end of the summer. So here we go. And this particular pot you're going to see from all 4 sides, so I'm going to plant it that way. Here we are. Okay, so the very first thriller plant I am using is another cordyline. Beautiful burgundy, kind of auburn color. And what I'm going to do before I put it into the pot is I'm going to cut off some of the bottom leaves. That's my neighborhood rooster, by the way. Thought he'd join in on the conversation. But I'm cutting these down, or off, so that the plants I plant around it will have a little bit of space. So we'll go with that for right now. Let's see where we're at. He was totally quiet until I came out here. I think he can hear me. So again, another pot-bound plant, and we're just going to loosen the roots. When you know they're eager beavers and they really want to grow. The soil I used in here does have Osmocote in it, so it's going to have a slow release fertilizer in it. I mean, let's face it, I work full time, so a lot of times I forget to come out here and fertilize on a regular basis. So the slow release fertilizer helps with that. Okay. So my filler plants, these are actually perennials, and I think I showed you guys this in my previous video, but these are euphorbias, and I chose them just because they have some of the same colors in their leaves as the cordyline does, so they'll really accent each other. Plus it's got these little yellow flowers on them. And that's going to require some digging. And I'm going to take a portion of the root ball off the bottom. These guys you kind of plant in a triangle. So we're going to see just how many plants we can cram in here today. I already see where I'm probably going to have to cut off a couple more leaves. So we don't have them competing with the euphorbias. Like that. And the name of this particular variety of euphorbia is called Ascot Rainbow, for obvious reasons. It has like a rainbow colored foliage. Just gorgeous. This will also take you through the fall. Okay, and then another beautiful plant. This is a Margarita African daisy. It is an annual up here in the Northwest, but I love them for their beautiful purple flowers. And I'm going to plant those in between the euphorbias. And another filler. Start getting them all in here. Some folks have used styrofoam, that kind of thing, in the bottoms of their pots to keep them light. And I tried that one year. It was really messy. We drink a lot of milk here, so I decided gallon jugs of milk would be even better. Alright, so we got our fillers in, and now for the spillers. And I got a bunch of them. We'll just see how many of these we can put in. This is a gorgeous little filler. This is by Proven Winners. This is Super Bells Dreamsicle. Gorgeous orange color that's going to help accent the purples and the yellows and of course the color of the cordyline that you see in there. But these guys will go berserko. And I always start with these first thing in the spring just due to the fact that they can handle cooler temperatures. Sometimes it's a little early to be planting some of the annuals, but the Super Bells, no, they're pretty tough. And boy are they pretty when they really get going. So I'm going to plant these in 3 different places. Keeping the triangle theory. So now that I have 2 plants sitting side by side here, I'm going to actually place him right in between. I think it's a him. I'm just going to assume that he is. And I just follow the same routine all the way around the pot. You can see this guy already got a flower coming out. So they want to go. That's what I love about these Super Bells. And the Super Bells are actually a cousin to the petunia, believe it or not. And boy, have they come a long way as far as finding hardy plants that just bloom their little hearts out all summer long. Okay. So there's one down, one filler, spiller. I just might get all my little specimens in here. So I wanted a little bit different texture, but these also have like in orange daisy-like flower. These are also by Proven Winners. This is called Campfire Fireburst. Now, I've never planted these before, so this is kind of a new thing for me this year. But they're kind of a mounding, trailing type plant, and I'm just anxious to see how they do this year. I'm all about trying something new. So I'm going to place these in front of the euphorbias that I have in here. And I lead them out towards the edge so they can just crawl right over. I can get stuck on pink and white and purples. So I'm trying really hard this year to also go with hot colors, warm colors as I call them. Your oranges, your reds, your yellows. I've really learned to appreciate them. And they just go so well with this colored pot. Still keeping that triangle theme. Here he goes. Don't be afraid to cram them in. Being it's early spring, I try not to get too carried away because they have the entire season that they can fill in. And if I were doing this pot like in the summer, I'd be cramming them in there, because they have like half the season to fill in. So, it's kind of the general rule. I leave a little more space in the spring. Okay, and I got another fabulous annual over here. This is an awesome little plant. This is called Limelight. It's a helichrysum. And it's beautiful in hanging baskets as well as pots, because they start to trail down, and I just love them for their color. They really don't have any significant blooms, but man, are they awesome for contrast. Look at that. So I am going to place them right next to our osteospermum. It'll really show off the purple in the flowers. Oh, pretty, pretty, pretty. Bit of it over here on this side. There we go. Just lead them out towards the edge. We'll add some more dirt in there here in a minute. These also don't mind cooler temperatures. There you go. I am going to fill in with some extra dirt. I left some more space. I still had 3 other spillers sitting over there, but I've decided enough is enough. Got to know when to stop and allow these guys some room to be able to flow out over the pot. The cool part is that some of the annuals, yes, won't be here by next year, but the cordyline and the perennial euphorbia definitely will be. So don't be afraid to mix your annuals with perennials. Perfectly okay, and I like it because I just know I'm getting extra mileage out of my pots, and I can always place these in the garden next year, or who knows, I may just leave them in here or move them to a new spot and create another container out of them. But oh, so pretty. So I will go and water this in, and gonna wait probably a day or so before I place it exactly where I want it. But there you go. Those are some basic rules for you on planting containers, a thriller, filler, and very cool spillers.